Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a question. What is the most expensive thing in the world? Some say it's gold, others say it's diamonds, or luxury cars, or mansions. But I tell you today, none of these even come close. The most expensive thing in your life is time, because once it is gone, no power on earth can bring it back. Time is the most valuable asset you will ever own, far beyond the treasures this world tries to sell you. Gold can be mined again, diamonds can be cut again, and money can always be earned again. But time is one thing you can never get back once it is gone. Every second that passes is like a drop of water falling from your hands, impossible to catch once it slips through. This is why wise people call time life itself, because how you use your time is how you use your life. You may think that money is the real currency of success, but the truth is that time is the true currency because you are constantly spending it whether you realize it or not. The wealthiest person and the poorest person both receive the same 24 hours in a day, yet the difference in their outcomes often lies in how they value those hours. When you waste time on things that don't matter, you are trading away pieces of your future for nothing. You are paying with your most expensive possession and getting nothing in return. The cruel part is that time does not announce when it is leaving. It just goes silently and consistently, and one day you wake up realizing whole years have vanished. People often say, I don't have time. But the truth is, you always have time. You just choose to spend it elsewhere. Think about how many hours are consumed by distractions, by endless scrolling, by conversations that go nowhere, by fears that paralyze you. Those hours could have been invested in growth, in building your dream, in creating memories that last, in becoming who you are meant to be. Unlike money or possessions, time cannot be borrowed, saved, or multiplied. You cannot pause it, rewind it, or stockpile it for later. The clock ticks for all of us in equal measure, and the only difference is how we honor the ticking. If you see time as priceless, you begin to protect it, to allocate it wisely, to refuse to waste it on things that drain your energy. You begin to measure opportunities not by what they promise, but by whether they are worthy of your minutes and hours. When you finally understand that time is the most valuable asset, you stop treating it casually and start living with urgency, purpose, and gratitude for every moment given to you. Tomorrow is an illusion, a beautiful lie we tell ourselves to escape the responsibility of acting today. How often do we say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll change tomorrow, I'll chase my dream tomorrow, as if tomorrow is guaranteed to us? The truth is, tomorrow is nothing but a promise that may never arrive, yet countless people gamble their lives away waiting for it. The danger in this mindset is that it gives us a false sense of comfort, a feeling that we still have time, when in reality, time is slipping through our hands with every breath. Waiting for tomorrow becomes the perfect hiding place for fear, procrastination, and self-doubt. We convince ourselves that we need the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect mood before we can begin. But perfection never comes. Life will never arrange itself to be flawless, because the perfect time does not exist. What exists is now, this very moment, raw, messy, and unpredictable, but powerful enough to change everything if you choose to act. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who wait for conditions to line up in their favor. They are the ones who dare to start even when the conditions are imperfect. Every dream you postpone for tomorrow begins to collect dust, and with each day you delay, the weight of inaction grows heavier. Tomorrow becomes next week, next month, and before you know it, years have passed, and the opportunities you once had are gone forever. Tomorrow robs you quietly because you think you still have it. But the truth is, life only guarantees you today. The sooner you embrace this, the sooner you realize that every excuse, every hesitation, every delay is costing you a part of your future. Success is built in the now, not in a distant someday. Dreams are watered today, not tomorrow. Growth happens in the present, not when it feels convenient. You cannot keep waiting for a tomorrow that might never come, because the only time you truly hold in your hands is this very second. What you choose to do now with this moment will shape the life you live tomorrow, and that is the only tomorrow you can control. The clock won't wait, no matter who you are, no matter how much power, wealth, or influence you have. Time is impartial. It does not pause for your pain. It does not slow down for your struggles, and it does not speed up for your joy. It moves steadily, second by second, with no regard for your excuses, your doubts, or your delays. This is what makes time both beautiful and terrifying. It is always moving, and every tick of the clock is pushing you closer to the end of your journey. Many people waste their days thinking they have unlimited chances, but the truth is that every passing moment is one less opportunity to do what you were created for. You cannot beg time to come back once it has slipped through your fingers. It does not negotiate, it does not compromise, and it does not return. Life's greatest tragedies are often not the things we did, but the things we never did because we thought we had more time. People often underestimate the urgency of action, believing that tomorrow will give them another chance. But tomorrow cannot undo the hours wasted today. Every time you procrastinate, every time you hesitate, every time you delay taking action, time is moving forward without you. You may stand still, but the world doesn't. You may pause, but opportunities don't wait. Someone else, somewhere else, is using the same minutes you waste to move ahead, to grow, to build, and to achieve. This is why the clock is one of life's most powerful teachers. It reminds us that the only direction is forward. If you truly want to change your life, you must understand the value of now, because now is all you really have. The people who succeed are not those who wait for the perfect season. They are those who decide to act even in imperfect ones, because they know time will never stop for them. Every heartbeat is a countdown, every sunrise is a reminder, and every nightfall is proof that another day has ended. You cannot control the passing of time, but you can control how you use it. The clock will keep ticking, whether you act or not, and that reality should ignite a fire within you to stop delaying, stop doubting, and start living with urgency before your time runs out. Don't let regret define your story, because regret is one of the heaviest burdens a human heart can carry. It is the voice that whispers, if only I had tried harder, if only I had begun sooner, if only I had believed in myself. Regret is not born from failure, because failure at least teaches lessons and builds resilience. Regret is born from inaction, from the opportunities you never took, from the words you never spoke, from the dreams you allowed to wither away because of fear, doubt, or hesitation. When people reach the later stages of their lives, they rarely regret what they did. Instead, they regret what they didn't do. They regret the risks they avoided, the passions they suppressed, and the time they wasted believing they had more of it. Regret has the power to steal joy from the present because it chains you to the past. It keeps you replaying moments, imagining alternate outcomes, and punishing yourself for choices you can no longer change. But the saddest truth is that regret is preventable. You do not have to reach the end of your life carrying the weight of what if. You can make a choice today to live fully, boldly, and without apology for the dreams that burn within you. Regret is silenced when courage is chosen, when you take action instead of waiting, when you step into the unknown instead of clinging to comfort. Life is not about waiting for perfect conditions. It is about creating meaning in imperfect circumstances. Every day you are alive is an invitation to rewrite your story, to ensure that when you look back, you see chapters of courage, growth, and purpose, not blank pages filled with hesitation. The truth is, you will always face fear, uncertainty, and even failure, but these are far easier to live with than a lifetime of regret. Failure can be redeemed, mistakes can be corrected, and wounds can heal, but regret is a scar that never fades. If you want to protect yourself from that pain, then you must act now. Chase the opportunities, take the leap, and speak the words you need to say. Refuse to let your story be defined by the things you never did, because the worst ending to a life is not one filled with failures, but one filled with the silence of dreams left unspoken. Use your time as a gift, because that is exactly what it is. A precious offering that has been placed in your hands without cost, but with immeasurable value. Unlike material possessions, time is not something you earn, buy, or borrow. It is something you are given each day, and how you choose to use it determines the quality of your life. A gift is never meant to be ignored, wasted, or taken for granted. It is meant to be appreciated, valued, and put to good use. Yet so many of us treat time as though it were endless, squandering hours on distractions, complaints, and negativity, forgetting that every tick of the clock is a portion of our lives we will never get back. The most successful and fulfilled people are not those with more resources, but those who recognize time as a gift and honor it by living intentionally. They choose to spend their hours on growth, relationships, purpose, and contribution rather than on meaningless pursuits. When you see time as a gift, you stop giving it away carelessly to things that drain your spirit. You begin to protect it, to prioritize what truly matters, and to invest it in ways that create lasting impact. Every sunrise becomes more than just another day. It becomes another chance, another opportunity, another gift to live, love, and grow. Life is not measured by the number of years you exist, but by what you did with the time you were given. Imagine your time as a treasure chest filled with golden coins, and every hour you spend is a coin taken out. Would you throw those coins away on things that add no value, or would you use them wisely to build a future worth living? When you shift your perspective, you begin to understand that every conversation, every decision, every action is either honoring or wasting the gift you have been given. People who live with this awareness carry a sense of urgency, not a frantic rush, but a deep appreciation that motivates them to make the most of every moment. They do not live in the past or worry endlessly about the future. They live in the present, fully engaged, fully alive. To treat time as a gift is to acknowledge its sacredness and to realize that the way you spend it reveals what you truly value. Greatness is built in daily choices because your life is not shaped by one grand decision, but by the small, consistent actions you take every single day. People often imagine success as a sudden breakthrough, a magical moment when everything changes, but in reality, success is the result of countless quiet choices that accumulate over time. The way you spend your mornings, the discipline you apply to your work, the effort you invest in your growth, the attitude you carry into each interaction. These choices are the bricks with which your future is built. One day of discipline might not seem to matter, but repeated days of discipline transform into habits, and habits shape character. Likewise, one day of neglect may not appear destructive, but repeated neglect slowly erodes potential and leaves behind regret. Every day offers you a crossroads where you must decide whether to invest in growth or settle for comfort, whether to push forward or remain stagnant. Greatness is not a matter of luck or talent alone. It is the reward of persistence, of choosing to show up even when you don't feel like it, of making sacrifices in the present for the sake of a better tomorrow. When you understand this truth, you stop waiting for a big break or a perfect opportunity because you realize that the opportunity is hidden in the choices you are making right now. The choice to read instead of waste hours scrolling, the choice to practice instead of procrastinate, the choice to act with integrity instead of compromise, these are the decisions that separate those who dream from those who achieve. Over time, the consistency of these small choices builds momentum, and momentum builds transformation. The most successful people are not those who always had the best circumstances, but those who refused to let a day pass without moving closer to their purpose. Your daily choices create the life you will live tomorrow, and eventually, they define the legacy you will leave behind. If you want greatness, it will not arrive in one giant leap, but in thousands of small, intentional steps taken with faith, courage, and determination. So give me a few minutes. Look at your life right now. Look at the hours you spend on things that do not grow you, the energy you waste on people who do not believe in you, the days you let pass by without purpose. And then ask yourself, am I honoring this gift called time, or am I throwing it away? Ladies and gentlemen, greatness is not built in some distant tomorrow. It is built in what you choose to do with your time today. So stop waiting, stop doubting, stop wasting time, and start living, because your moment is now.